So in last class, we have seen about the logger component and we seen transform message component, correct?
Yeah, same set payload.
Yeah, set payload also. So today we will discuss few more components and we will discuss in practical way. Then it will be more clear.
Ravi, transform message we cannot, we did not cover.
Yeah, that we will do. We will do. So again, what we will do? We will expose our API as a REST API. So what we need to do? We need to select the HTTP listener one. Okay, that I will do here. And then here, character configuration, localhost 8081. I can click test connection, but I'm sure that is available. So I clicked on OK. Okay. So what use case we are going to do? First, let me explain that use case through diagram. This is our Mule API, and this is the front-end application. Okay. This time, what we are going to do? When your front-end application will make request, okay. So we will receive their request. And then what we will do? We will do some transformation here. So what all transformation we will do here? In request, they will pass first name, last name. Okay. Can anyone tell me request, whenever request will come, what all data will be there in the request? What all field will be there in the request?
Yeah, mule event, mule message, variable payload,
Yes.
query
Yes.
parameter.
So first thing will be mule event. Inside mule event, what all things will be there?
Mule message and variable.
Payloads and variables.
Yes. So what we will do? We will pass this first name, last name, okay, age. Okay. This three we will pass inside the request. Okay. And as a response, what they want, what we want as a response, we want instead of first name, last name, we need name only. Okay. And age will be age. In request, we will get first name, last name, and in this age and response, we want name. Name will contain first name plus last name. Okay, and age will be age only. So this API we want to develop. So where this first name, last name, age will come, this will come inside the payload. Okay. And here we will pass this. So as I mentioned last time, whatever will be your last payload, that will be your response. Okay. And why this happen? Why your last payload will be response? Reason is, if you go to listener and if you go to response, you can see your Success response will be your payload. Whatever payload will be your last payload, that will be your success response. In error response, this will be your response, but you can change it. Okay, so definitely we will change it. This is not like we should not pass this response. We should pass more detail. So in error part, we will change it, but in success part, we will keep it payload only. If you want, you can change anything else. So whatever you will set at the last of that particular for that particular API, that will be your response. But here we have payload. That's why whatever your last payload will be there, that will be your response. Everyone clear on this part? Why payload only will be response? So reason is that kind of configuration is there in the listener.
Yes, Ravi.
Okay. So we have received the request. Okay. And then sorry. Then we will use set payload. Now in set payload, what we will do? So here we need to write data code to generate this JSON payload. Okay. Data part, we will have like 2-3 separate session, but at this moment we will start learning small things like basic script of data view. Okay. As I mentioned, 10% coding will be there, and that 10% coding will be this data view. Okay. So here we need to generate the payload using data view script, and it's very simple one. Okay, it's not very complex. So first thing, what kind of payload we want? We want JSON payload. So you need to mention output. Output, what kind of output we want? JSON payload. So JSON payload, for JSON payload, you need to write every time you need to write application/JSON. If you want XML payload, you need to write application/XML. Okay. So for different payload, you need to change this output. At this moment, we want JSON, so application/JSON, and then 3 dot. Okay. By default, this data view will use version 2.0, but if you want, you can mention explicitly using this syntax %dw 2.0. Okay, this syntax you just need to remember this part. Okay, if you will not define this data view version 2.0, automatically it will take 2.0. But if you want to use 1.0, you must need to define here 1.0. Okay, so this will be data view version 2.0 output application JSON. So here I want to generate the JSON payload. So as I mentioned earlier, every JSON payload will be enclosed inside the curly braces. Now, what all things I want in JSON payload? Okay, I want name and another I need age. Correct? So these are the key. Okay, these are the key of the JSON. So key you can put inside the curly brace, inside the double inverted comma, or outside also. Both is okay. But let's use common standard. So for name, okay, from where we will get name, we will get first name plus last name, and where this first name last name is coming, payload. So if you want to access any data of payload, syntax will be payload dot first name And what we want to do, we want to add first name with last name. Okay, so plus plus. If you want to add two string, then plus plus. If you want to add two integer, then single plus. This is the syntax of database scripting language. If you want to add two string, then you need to put plus plus. If you want to add two integer, then you need to use plus. Okay, so here what I want to add, inside payload we will get first name plus plus. Inside payload we will get last name. And for age, payload dot age. Okay, and between these two, okay, there will be one comma. So everyone clear with this database script to generate one simple JSON payload? One has any doubt? Sorry.
Yeah, we are good. We are good.
Okay, okay, fine. So using this database script, we generated one payload. Okay. In that payload, we have name. Okay, name is the key and value of that key is this. What we are generating in value, we are generating whatever payload we will get as a request of this API. We will take first name from there and we will take last name from there. We will add those two values. And then for age, we will get age from the payload and we will pass inside the age. Okay, this is known as transformation or mapping. This is known as data weave transformation or data weave mapping. Okay, so we did this. Now save this. Okay, we will let's put to log also. The one thing you can search here or another thing you can type here. Okay. Okay. So in logger, we will have start logger. And log. So this will be start logger, this will be end logger. Everything is done. And let me run in debug mode. Okay. So it's deployed successfully. Yeah, I haven't tested yet. So this is deployed successfully. Yeah. Before testing this, let me add one breakpoint. Okay, so to identify everyone, like I'm not sure at this moment I'm accepting everyone, but to identify everyone, like I will give you this Microsoft Team credential and you must need to log in with that same team. Okay. Okay, fine. So here default and deployed. Yeah, fine. So now we will go to Postman. So here we need to give HTTP 0.0.0.0, and then port will be 8081, then slash test. Okay. And as I mentioned, front end, like this application will call this API, front end application will call this API, and they will pass this payload. Okay. So we from where you can pass the payload, you can see here body. Okay. Go body. What kind of payload they will pass? They will pass the JSON payload. So go to raw and select here JSON. Select the body, then select the raw, and then select the JSON. Okay. And now what they will pass in request? First name, last name, age. First name, comma, then last name, then comma, and then age. Okay. So in payload, we will pass first name, last name, and age. Okay. Now we will call this API. Everyone clear this part now? In request, what this API will receive? In request, it will receive first name, last name, and age. And what we need to do? We need to update this payload with new payload where name will contain first name plus last name and age will contain age. That we did here. Name will contain first name plus last name and age will contain age. Okay, fine. Now send
I
it.
thought it is case sensitive if we send any caps letter or
Yes, yes,
uppercase letter.
yes. Everything is case sensitive.
So what we have defined in the set payload, we need to be do the same thing in the first one as
Your voice. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So what we have set, what we have did in arrange made provided the details in the set payload. We need to also pass the same request in the postman also, right? In the message body.
Set payload. No,
In
means
the set payload,
ideally.
yeah, if you pass the uppercase letters and if you and in the postman when we are sending
First
the
thing, okay. First thing, request will come from Postman. Okay. So whatever you will tell any user, let's say mobile application is calling your API, correct? So before developing your API, you will create one API spec and there you will tell your first name should be like this, last name should be like this, and they have to pass in same way, and you have to use same.
Okay, okay.
Is this correct?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
So we got the request here. Before moving to next, I will clear the log. Okay, so here we have one option to clear the console log. Now everything is clear. Now once you will execute this, one logger will be created. So click on next processor. This logger got created. Then once this, at this moment you can see payload is empty. Okay, no, payload is not empty. Payload is the payload what we are sending from the postman. First name, last name, age. But once you will execute this, this payload will be changed by new payload what we have written here, data scripting language. Okay. So now click on this. See, now we have this payload. Okay, once this will execute, it will update the request payload with the new payload what we want. Okay, and then next logger will execute here, and logger. Okay, and then it will complete the process, so you will get response here. Let me know if anyone has any doubt in this particular use case. Okay, fine. So everything is good here. Now we will do small change to learn the set variable. Okay. So what I will do, set variable we will learn from different example. So hope everyone clear on this part. Now what we will do, we will try to develop simple calculator. Okay. So now we want to develop simple calculator using Mulesoft. So how we will develop? Let's discuss that part first. So here we have mobile application. Okay, and which will make a request. So in calculator, let's say this calculator will do only 4 tasks: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, and it will do this addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on first like two numbers. Okay, first number and last number, correct? Everyone clear on this part? So in calculator, what will happen? In calculator, first thing we need to pass what operation we are going to do. Okay, and then we need to pass first number, and last number, second number. Okay, we need to pass first number and second number, and we need to pass operation. So first, uh, like you people can tell me first number and last number. This will be what kind of input? This will be query parameter, URI parameter, payload, or header. What kind of input this will be and why?
Mm, this will be payload
Okay, and why?
because every time I want to change this one.
So you can change the value of query parameter also. You can change the value of header also. Your voice is very low. I cannot hear.
Yeah, no idea, Ravi. You can.
Okay. So whenever we are passing the processing data, okay, if you are passing any processing data, then that should be part of payload. So here, first number and second number is processing data. So this will be our payload. So how many input, what kind of input we can pass? We discussed earlier. One is payload. Second one is query parameter. Third one is URI parameter. And last is header. So this and one is variable. Okay. We can pass this kind of input to any API. So whenever we want to pass processing data, so processing data will be passed inside the payload. Whenever you want to pass any filter condition, based on that you will take some decision, then you should pass inside the query parameter. Okay. Filter condition, whenever you will take some decision based on your input. If you will take any decision based on the input, then you should pass that inside the query parameter. Means filter condition should be part of query parameter. And where from Postman, where you can pass query parameter here. Inside the params, you can pass the query parameter. Then whenever you want to pass unique identifier, okay, let's say you are making one request and where you need customer detail based on the customer ID. So what is customer ID here? Customer ID is unique parameter. Since each customer has their one ID and you are passing here customer ID to get the customer detail. Let's say you want to see result of the student, so you need to pass the registration number. So registration number is again unique identifier. So this kind, if you are passing any unique identifier to retrieve the data, then you will pass inside the URI parameter. Is this clear? All three? Unique parameter will be URI parameter. Header. Inside header, we do pass the metadata. Okay. Let's say this payload we are passing, this is of application type JSON. So accept will be JSON. So this is not playing any role in the business logic. This just contain the metadata. Okay, what is metadata here? This payload is of JSON type. That is one metadata. So metadata we will pass inside the header. And variable, generally we don't pass in request, variable we create inside this. Okay, once you will start the processing to hold the data, we use variable. Okay, variable is used to hold the data. Okay. So this is our processing data, so this will be payload. Now tell me what operation, what will be operation? Where we will pass the operation.
So we need to do the integer one, right? So we need to split by single place.
Saying
Because
operation, it will be addition. Everyone put in chat. Let me see what everyone has thoughts. So everyone put in chat what will be where we will pass the operation. Operation will be either addition, subtraction, or division or multiplication. Whatever operation we will pass to this API, based on that operation, it will do the processing like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So where we will pass this operation. Okay. So I can see 5, 6 answer and everyone is correct only. Okay. Only Sidhu, your one is incorrect. Nagendra, your one is incorrect. Apart of that, everyone use query parameter. So this will be correct. So why we are passing this? First, you need to understand here why we are passing this operation to take decision, to do filtering. Okay. If operation will be addition, then we will do addition. If operation will be subtraction, then we will do subtraction. If operation will be multiplication, then we will do multiplication of these two numbers. So here operation we are passing to take decision, to take, this will be filter condition. Based on that, we will do filtering, what we need to do. Okay. So if this kind of data we are passing, then we should pass inside the query parameter. So this will be query parameter. So Sidhu and other like Sidhu and Nagin,
Like
are you clear?
Ravi, how can we confirm that one is it is in a query parameters? You know, like this one is a query parameter. It is for filtering, right? So this is the
Yes.
operation. So like, how does it compares with the filtering of that one?
So if operation will be addition, then you have to do addition. If operation will be subtraction, you need to do subtraction. So what you are doing here? You are doing filtering now.
Okay.
That means if there is a multiple options, like we can go for a query parameters, like multiple operations.
Yeah, means whenever multiple things are there and you need to do one particular thing. Out of that multiple thing, you have to do one particular thing, then you should do query parameter.
Okay. Right.
So here we will have this query parameter as a operation. Okay. Now in this API, what I will do?
Ravi, for URI parameters, like when we want to do a when we want to find a particular role number or particular customer ID, so we use the URI parameters, right?
Yes, means whenever you have, you need to find something based on unique identifier. Unique identifier means, let's say in your target system,
Role
where
number.
from where, yeah, from where you are getting the data, there are multiple records are there, but for each records, one data is there which is unique. Let's say registration number, roll number, or customer ID. Okay. If you are retrieving data based on the unique identifier, then we will use inside URI parameter. We will pass inside URI parameter. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So first thing here, we have this query parameter. We have this payload where we have first number and second number. So what we will do, here we will define 4 branch, one for addition, one for subtraction, one for multiplication, and one for division. Okay. So in first branch, what we will do, So in every branch, we need to write the condition to check. What we want to check here, if attributes dot query parameter dot operation equals to. If you want to compare anything, you have to use two equals to. If we have attribute dot query parameter dot operation equals to add. Okay, then what we will do? And we will write the data weave code again, set payload. And in set payload, what we will do? We will set the result. What will be result? Can anyone tell me what will be syntax here?
Payload dot
Payload dot
First number
first number
plus
plus
payload dot second number.
payload dot second. Correct. So what it will do? It will do addition and it will generate one JSON payload. So this thing we will do inside the set payload. Second, here we will check if attribute dot query parameter dot operation equals to subtraction. Yes. Yes, tell me.
No, you can continue.
Okay. So if operation will be subtraction, then what we will do?
Result equal to first
Payload
number,
dot
first number minus payload dot second number.
So like that, we have to do for multiplication also and division also. Okay. Now let's do using this studio. You people, okay, no. Here actually,
Ravi, like double equals to means it will equal, right? So when
compare.
we make it
Double
single
equals to
equal,
means compare.
sorry,
We are comparing both sides.
okay.
Calculator. So here, first thing I will put listener. Okay. Then I will put logger. This will be start log. Okay. This will be logger. And then here, what we need to do? We need to take the decision. Okay. So if we want to take the decision, then in Mulesoft, we have one component that is choice router. Okay. If you want to take a decision, and based on the decision, you need to execute any one of this branch, not all, any one of this branch, then we will use this choice router. Okay. So here you can see we have when and default. By default, it will create 2 branch, but based on the requirement, you can create n number of branch. So let's say I want to do set payload in first branch. I want to create, okay, let's create another branch next time. So here you need to click on when, and here you need to write your condition. So what is our condition? Before writing the condition, click on fx. Okay. If you want to write the data weave code, you need to click the fx. Okay, and we will write condition based on the data weave code. Okay, so we'll click on fx, and then here we will write the condition. So what will be condition? Attributes dot query params dot operation equals to add. So this is my condition. If query parameter value will be add, then what we will do inside the payload? Everyone go on mute. What will be payload? Output.
Payload dot first number. Sorry, output application slash JSON.
Yes, yes. Okay. And then here we will write the result.
Result is equal to
payload dot first number
Payload dot
first number
first number
plus
plus
payload dot
plus
second number.
Sorry. Okay. So this will be addition one. Sorry. Then next, what we want to do? Subtraction. So if you want to add a new branch here, so hold this component. Once you will able to see this big line, black big line, drop it. See, it created similar to this, it created new branch. So here again we need to write the condition. Attributes
dot query params
query params dot
operation.
What will be value? It will be subtraction.
Subtract.
Okay. Here inside set payload, what we need to do?
Output.
Ravi, for the operation, that is the default expression that we need to set in that choice router.
No, operation, as I mentioned, we will pass, like whoever will call this API, they will pass in operation inside the query parameter.
No, I'm talking about the attributes dot query parameters dot operation, right? So we need to use the same expression. So first we need to use that.
So okay, this part we discussed now in when we discuss about the mule event yesterday.
Okay, I got it.
So mule event is this. Inside this, we will have mule message and we have mule variable.
Yes.
Again, mule message has 2 parts. One is payload, another one is attribute. Okay, and then again, attribute has 3 parts. Query parameter, URI parameter, header. Okay, if you want to access the payload, syntax will be direct payload.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to access the attribute, okay, then syntax will be attribute. Inside the attributes, what you want to access? You want to access query parameter. So query params, and there, what query parameter? There can be multiple query parameter. You can define multiple query parameter here. So which query parameter we are going to use?
Operation.
We are going to use operation, and it will have some value.
And
Okay.
yeah, that's
So this
okay.
is the way of writing the syntax.
Thanks.
Attribute dot query params dot operation. So here, again,
Result.
result payload
Dot first
dot
number. Plus
Subtraction
ping.
minus.
minus.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
For multiply, we need to use star. For division, we need to use forward slash. Okay. So I will test only these two. Okay. And you people need to complete this for multiplication and division. Okay. And keep default one as a empty only. And after this completion, I will put one end log. Okay. Let me deploy this. Meanwhile, we will create the postman to call this API. So operation we already created. This will be calculator. Okay. HTTP 00008081 calculator, and whatever query parameter you will define, it will come in here. Okay. It will come like question mark and then query parameter. This is the syntax. Automatically it will come. Okay. If you will add one more will come here. Then in body, what we need to pass? We need to pass
First number and second number.
first number. Let's pass the value as a 20, and then second number, let's pass value as a 10. Okay, so we need to pass the body, we need to pass the query parameter. That's it. So deployment is done. Now we will call this API. Request receive. I will clear the log first. Then it will create the start log and see what we passed. We passed ADD, addition. So which branch will match this condition? First branch will match. Okay, so it will go in first branch. Okay, click on next. See, it went in first branch. If this condition will not match, it will check for second condition. If this will also not match, then it will go to default. But it match with the first condition, it went here. And then it will execute the set payload. Okay, once it will execute, see result is 20 plus 10, 30. Okay, and then it will create the end log and you will get the response here. So addition of 20 plus 10 is 30. Now I want to do subtraction. So I will change this operation as a sub. Okay, so this time it will go to second branch. Let me call it again. Request came here. It's in logger. So let me clean this. What I did. Run to processor. I did resume one. I need to call it again. So first, it did the start logging, and then it will go to choice. Okay. Now in the choice, it checked. First, it checked this condition. Is this operation is add? No. Then it will go here. Is this operation subs? Yes. So you can see here now we are doing filtering based on the operation. We are doing filtering where we will go. We will go here or we will go here. So that's why we pass this operation in query parameter. So it matched here with this sub. So it went here. And what we are doing here, we are dividing subtracting second number from the first number. So 20 minus 10, it will be 10. Result will be 10. It will do an end log here. And you can see here result is generated. Payload is generated now. 10. Okay. It will do an end log and you will be able to see response here. Let me know anyone has any doubt on this part.
Clear.
So we are good for today class. Now what we need to do, everyone need to complete this API, calculator API, and I will give you one more assignment, calculator API and one more assignment based on this choice router. Okay, whatever component you have learned, set payload, logger and choice router, one more use case assignment I will give you. So everyone need to complete that. And in doubt session, you can join, and if you will have any doubt, you can ask there. Okay, we are good.
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday's class recording was not given. Can you please?
Okay. Okay. Let me do maybe in next 1 hour you will get for yesterday and today one.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Fine then. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone.